My son, a doctor, and his lawyer wife issued an ultimatum: sign away my $3.8 million house. Can you imagine looking into the eyes of your own son, a man whose tiny hands you once taught to tie his shoes, and seeing nothing but cold calculation as he demands you sign over your home? They thought I was just an old man, easy prey, but they had no idea they were about to meet the most ruthless auditor they'd ever encountered, me. It was a Sunday afternoon, the kind of gentle September warmth that feels like a memory of summer. I was out in the garden, kneeling by Caroline's favorite Carillon roses. Each velvety red bloom was a testament to the 30 years we'd spent in this house, turning soil, pulling weeds, building a life from nothing. The soil felt cool and honest in my hands. Out here, the world just made sense. Then, a sound that ripped through the peace, the crunch of expensive tires on my gravel driveway. Impatient, assertive. I didn't need to look up to know whose silver German sedan it was, the kind of car that costs more than the first house Caroline and I ever owned. Slowly, I got to my feet, wiping my hands on my trousers. Daniel and his wife, Amelia, stepped out. They weren't dressed for a Sunday visit. He was in a crisp polo and tailored slacks, fresh from the country club. She was in a sharp dark pantsuit, her leather briefcase in hand, as if she'd come straight from a hostile negotiation. She was always dressed for battle. I just never thought the battle would be with me. Dad, Daniel said. Not a greeting, an announcement. No warmth, just a clinical assessment. You shouldn't be doing that kind of work. You could fall. I've been gardening for 40 years, Daniel. I think I know how to stand up, I replied, my voice flat. Amelia stepped forward, her heels sinking slightly into the soft lawn. Her eyes weren't seeing the climbing roses or the ancient oak, but calculating square footage and property value. Robert, she began, using my first name, always a subtle power play. We need to talk about some logistical streamlining. We've been running the numbers, and the upkeep on a property this size for one person is, well, it's fiscally irresponsible. Fiscally irresponsible. The words hung between us, cold and sharp. They had taken the sanctuary Caroline and I had built and reduced it to a line item on a spreadsheet. The house is paid for, Amelia. It has been for 20 years, I said, walking towards the stone patio. I didn't invite them in. Daniel followed, placing a hand on my shoulder. His touch felt proprietary, like a doctor examining a patient without consent. Dad, it's not just about the money. We've been worried. We've noticed a certain cognitive latency in our recent calls. It's about mitigating risk factors. At your age, living alone. He let the sentence hang. Dementia, incompetence, helplessness, the unspoken words drifted in the air like poison. They were using their professions as weapons. She, the lawyer, spoke of assets. He, the doctor, spoke of ailments. Both of them were there to declare me obsolete. I looked at my son, at the man he had become. I saw the ghost of the little boy who used to help me in this very garden, his hands covered in mud, laughing as he tried to catch a worm. That boy was gone. In his place stood a stranger in expensive clothes, his face a mask of false concern. Mom would have wanted you to be looked after, Daniel said, pressing his, and then watch the full story link is attached below.